I hate videos. Now, you may be wondering, if I hate videos, what the heck am I doing here? Woohoo! Happy Friday, everyone. I'm super excited because I get to spend a little bit of time with you. And I have two amazing guests waiting for me in the green room. So let's get started, shall we? If you and I have not met yet, my name is Ingor van Roy, and I am recognized as a community connection catalyst. So, what does that mean? Well, it means that I help you tap into your community, grow it, and make more friends and maybe a little bit more money. So, if you are curious and would like to learn more, please reach out to me and let's see if you and I can collaborate together. Today, of course, the topic is collaboration, and I will be speaking with my friends Shama, Khurana, and Stuart Elliott about collaboration in nonprofits. I would like to say thank you so much to our amazing sponsors at AfriCop Online Radio, where we bring you the very best in local and international music. AfriCop is your oasis of entertainment. And if you didn't know, I host a show on that platform every Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's called Wonder Women Wednesday, and it's a place where I get to highlight ordinary women making an extraordinary difference. So please check it out. And if you've missed a few episodes, you can definitely find them on my LinkedIn profile. So without further ado, why don't I welcome one of my guests on stage? Good morning, good afternoon to you, Shama. How are you?
Good afternoon from the very cold UK. So nice to be here. I'm honored that I'm here with you today, Ingor.
I'm glad to have you here. Thank you, Shama. Won't you please introduce yourself? Let everyone know who you are and what you do, please.
Okay, my name is Shama Khurana. I'm based right in the center of the UK in the Midlands in a very, very small town called Warwick. My background, I've had over 20 years in teaching in further education and higher education. And like I said, it's over 20 years that I did that. So my expertise lie in ESOL, which is English for speakers of other languages. And I teach English language standalone. I teach mathematics. And now, since I've left Warwickshire College, I'm actually a neurodiversity coach. So as you can see around me, the QR code, and I'm from Shama Helps You. And what I do there, because of my experience, the people who used to, the students that used to come to me, the learners that used to come to me were all neurodivergent in one way or another. And what I encourage is we're not going to let that get in the way of your life. So my tagline we've developed, so advancing awareness of these uniquely brilliant minds, because they are uniquely brilliant. When we talk about normal, what is normal? How long is a piece of string? So, normal to all of us means something completely different. So, my aim was also all the time to remove as many barriers that I could possibly remove for them and move them forward towards their qualifications and their life, what they wanted to do and achieve. So yes, that's my life now. I actually like to serve on a humanitarian basis, removing as many barriers as I possibly can.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. And speaking of breaking barriers, why don't we say hello to the amazing Stuart Elliott? Hello, sir.
Hello, Ingor and Shama and everybody. It's wonderful to be here. This is my second honor to appear on your show. So it's great to do a repeat visit.
The
And in case you don't know, I'm coming to you from the south of China. This is a local picture in the background. It's very, very picturesque areas, and I'm recognized as a soul whisperer who guides people to transform the way they see themselves, so the world suddenly opens up with amazing possibilities for them. And when they make that connection, it's just the most beautiful thing, because they smile from the heart and they change physically and energetically and everything. And that's just so rewarding when I do that. And obviously, you can't do that without collaboration. And we're here today, the three of us, we are collaborating anyway. So that's beautiful. So, we're walking the talk, as you say, as you could
yes,
say.
yes, we are. Um, so you could we just shift quickly? I want to speak about. I'm looking at the roofs in the picture behind you.
Yeah.
Do you know why they're built that way?
That's the tradition in this part of the world. I mean, you see it in Japan, ancient Japan. You see it here. I don't know what the reason is, but it's just their culture, as far as I know. But it's real. This is about 500 years old. This village.
It's beautiful. So the reason why I'm asking you is because I was reading a book with my daughter. Um,
Mm-hmm.
my she's 8, and they spoke about the roofs in China. And the reason
Mm-hmm.
why they're built that way is to ward off evil spirits, because they won't be able to walk on the roofs when they're
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Could well be true, because they have a lot of tradition around evil spirits. Firecrackers are
Yes.
to ward off the evil spirits, etc., etc. And if you go to the eastern part of the country, near the sea, if you get served fish, you never turn it over to eat it, because if you do, that means the boat will capsize. So
Oh,
there's a lot of different traditions and cultural things there. So you have to be careful sometimes.
I can imagine. It must have been very interesting for you when you first moved there.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting, and it still is. So,
Yeah.
it doesn't stop. It's
You're
beautiful.
still
It's just
learning.
like when I lived in South Africa, it was very interesting to get there, and it's still interesting to be back again. So I think we create the interest wherever we live, don't we, if we want to.
Yes. Yes, we do.
Mm.
If you're watching live or catching the replay, won't you please drop us a comment and let us know where you're tuning in from? We'd love to make you part of the conversation. Um, so, if you know me, you know that I believe in the principle of Ubuntu, which is rooted in South Africa, like me. And so, here is the definition of the word Ubuntu. It is an ancient African word meaning humanity to others. It is often described as reminding us that I am because we are. And for me, I can honestly say that the person that I am here before you today would not be had it not been for my community, which is why I encourage others to build community. Because I promise you it will amplify who you are. Um, Shama, won't you please share with us what does community mean to you?
Community means a lot to me, right? Because my local community, I've been living in this very small town all my life. And anywhere that I walk, anywhere where I can go, I feel safe because I've known these people through my parents, through my own life as well.
Mm,
And so this is I'm talking about, from the Asian, sort of viewpoint. So I can walk into any of the temples. We've got a Sikh temple here, we've got a Hindu temple here, and we're like-minded, so you feel completely safe. You can have a conversation with just about anybody. A lot of them says, haven't seen you, and you just feel good, you're part of something.
yeah.
So community on the whole, it's mean a collective of like-minded people, and if we're sharing a similar or a common characteristic, right? So to me, that means a lot. It gives you a sense of belonging. It gives you a sense of somebody will be there to watch your back and be there to look after you, and the love is always there. So if I can sort of just, because we're talking about the Destiny Connect Foundation today, right? So we are a community on there too, right? Where, we have a common cause, a common interest in humanity. So, we are individuals from all over the world, and we've come together to serve the same cause.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Thank you, Shama. What about you, Stuart? What does community mean to you?
Well, community, I think, is something that we are geared up in our DNA to belong to, because we are herd animals.
Yes.
And we feel isolated without that type of thing, and we create different communities as we grow, and for different purposes. As Shama said, if you have a similar interest, then you tend to join a community around that interest. And just like we're here, the three of us now, we're building that community. We've been here before, we've spoken together. We're building that community around our similar and shared interests.
Yes.
And the DCF is a great example of that. And the online community, and then you've got your family community. So there's so many different ways that community comes into our life, but it's part of who we are. And if we don't have it, we become isolated. And if you go back to the sort of the herds of antelope in Africa, and they get isolated, they tend to get eaten. So we don't want that to happen to us. We want to be together, because there's that feeling of security. But it's not only security; it's the ability to be able to just interact with each other and talk and bounce off and resolve problems through that. And I think that's a beautiful thing, and that's why we are talking about the DCF, because that's the whole goal of it, to create a global community for the planet.
Yes, I love that.
I mean, in my family, Ingor, when we go out, right, and I say I'm going out tonight, and they say, which group are you going out with? They're all confused, because I have my group of, my dyslexic ladies, they used to work under my department, and there's my ESOL ladies, then my university ladies, and there's my, I got little groups of these communities all over the place. So everyone wants to know, which group am I going with today?
Wow, that's interesting. Speaking of community, I can see that there are some people that are watching and haven't dropped us a comment. Won't you please drop us a comment? Let us know where you're tuning in from. And I want to say hello, a very special hello to a beautiful friend, Diane Bayer. Thank you. She says, good morning and happy Friday. And she also says she's tuning in from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Awesome. And then hello also to Dorothy Ann. She says, good morning, happy Friday. And she is tuned in, I know, from Windsor, Ontario, which is in the same province as me, but it's 4 hours drive away. Yes, Ontario is so large. Did you just want some, and as an aside, Ontario is so large, it's actually bigger than South Africa.
Ingor, we got a Windsor here as well.
Yes.
It's a royal Windsor, though.
Yes. I think a lot of our names actually come from England because of um, the Commonwealth, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and we have some. I love to see some greeting with each other in the comments, and I want to highlight something because we're talking about collaboration. So, what is collaboration? It is the action of working with someone to produce something. Why is collaboration important to you, Shama?
I mean, you've hit the nail on the head. Collaboration means working together. Us as individuals, what Stuart was saying, we are very limited to what we can do,
Yeah.
right? We have our own special bits, almost, isn't it? What we work with in life.
Yeah.
So when there's a humongous task, like for example, we talk about the DCF,
Hmm.
right? How many specialities can one person have? It's quite limiting, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it cannot be tackled. If this is a massive, massive task, it cannot be tackled by an individual. So when you get a community of people, you're actually, it's almost like a magnet. You are drawing in specialities of many.
Mm.
And because we are all very individual, we can bring so much to a community just by collaborating with one another. This is why it's necessary to be part of a community. We here, in our little town of Warwick, where I'm from, we have like a community event going on, with one of the temples. What does everyone do? It's not one person who's going to cook for 1,000 people.
No.
Everyone gets in, and
Yeah.
everyone is helping in whatever way they can, whether it's the chopping, the cooking, the serving, the washing, whatever they're doing. And
I love
that's what actually happens,
that. I
right?
love
So
that.
so to me, right, it's bringing a lot of skills
Together.
together for
Mm.
one cause.
Mm.
And we have a little saying, if you don't mind me taking a little bit more time.
That's
And
fine.
if they always say, if you have one, you're on your own, right? If you have two, now these are 2 digits, you suddenly become the strength of 11,
Mm.
not just of two people. So when
Mm.
another person joins in, you're not just three, you got the strength of 111. And it
Wow.
goes on and on. And this is what the power of collaboration and community is all about.
Yeah, because we're all interconnected, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I want to answer what you said by highlighting something that you and I learned together. And this was in John C. Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. He
Yeah.
reminds us that the law of significance, in the law of significance, he says one is too small a number to
Yes.
achieve greatness. He also states that success is when I add value to myself,
Mhm.
but significance is when I add value to others. And that we cannot do that without collaboration.
Yeah. I was reading the same notes this morning.
Let's see what Stuart has to say. What does collaboration mean to you?
Well, I mean, Shama has answered it all, and it always reminds me of the common saying, many hands make light work.
Ooh,
So
yes,
when you've got, a big task, the more people who pitch in, the easier it becomes. And I think the other important thing is that every individual has a strength in a certain area,
mm,
but we can't do everything because some things are outside of our strength area. So we need to find the other people to collaborate with who can then take over and do that part of it. For instance, when I did a disc profile, not a disc, but a disc type profile,
Yes.
one of my biggest strengths is I'm a great starter. And the same profile said one of my biggest weaknesses is I'm a great starter. I don't finish.
You don't
So
see
I
this.
need to find people to finish for me, to hand the projects over so I can work within my zone
yeah,
of greatness.
I
And
love.
that's the whole thing about collaboration. We find those people and we recognize them and we can find ways to uplift them so they can work within their zone of genius.
Yes, beautiful.
So Stuart, are you a D?
I didn't do a disc. It was a different profile. I just
All
know that
right.
name offhand. So I wouldn't know what I am.
I'm the next one where I go on a journey. I don't actually just go from A to B, which is the end. I'm actually
Mhm,
enjoying the journey and making sure everyone else on my journey is enjoying it with me. So I'm a bit of a cheerleader. But then
mhm.
towards the end, and then I do slip into the D, which is the leadership, right? Then I actually say, right, we do need to finish this task by this date. But my main one is I'm on that journey and we're making sure everyone on the bus is happy.
Beautiful. Shama,
Mhm.
I want to remind you that your time is limited,
Oh,
so
yes.
we do need to run. But thank you for being here, and I'll continue the conversation with Stuart.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing being here. Next time, maybe we can do the full session.
Absolutely,
Mhm.
looking
I'm
forward to it.
within
Yeah.
your capable hands now, guys. Thank you very
Well, you
much.
have a great weekend and enjoy the cold. wintry weather in the UK.
And bye, everyone. Bye bye. Lovely to meet
Ciao now.
all our viewers. Bye bye.
Thank you. Stuart, actually, let's say hello. We've got another friend that popped in. Hello to
Okay.
you, Precious. She says, "Good evening on the end, on this end, Inga, tuning in from Nigeria." She says, "This is a
Hmm.
great room." Thank you, Precious. And she says, "Happy Friday to everyone."
Yeah, well, it's great to have Precious here. We could say it's a precious gift.
Yes, she is. She is. She's really awesome, actually. You should connect
Hmm.
with her.
Yeah.
Stuart, what is so we're talking about Destiny Connect Foundation. If you just popped in, I
Hmm.
would like to remind you that we are talking about the Destiny Connect Foundation, and here is the link if you'd like to check out our website. Stuart, won't you please share with us what is at the core of Destiny Connect Foundation? What is our mission and vision?
Well, it is about the three C's, which is communication, or the connection, and then collaboration. So it's about getting people to be able to talk to each other and take away this splintering, which is so often present in the help fields, if you like. So
Mm,
get everybody working together and find ways, and as we spoke about before, um, finding out what are the strengths. For instance, we want to go into communities, find out who are the potential leaders and help grow them so that they can become self-sufficient, the whole community, without having somebody intervening. And there are a lot of communities around the world where charities, should we say, come in to help. They just provide food, but they're not giving them, as James, who's the founder, and I say, we're not giving them the skills to fish. We're
yes,
just giving them the fish, and we want to give them those skills that we're not necessary. And that's the big end goal. But there's that fracturing we've got to take out of the whole system and bring people together so we can all work collectively.
yes. It's like it's similar to parenting, I guess, right? Because your end goal as a parent is not to continue parenting, but to
Yeah.
really build your child up so that they can be self-sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with coaching and other
Yeah,
disciplines. Your job is to be there to grow them, and then step away and leave them on their own with the new skills they've got, so then they can flourish. And
yes,
that's what we want to do. And unfortunately, there are so many areas of the world where aid has been given, and the people are worse off because the aid disappears. They haven't got the skills or the tools to grow themselves. They've not been taught that. They've just been taught to be dependent, and
yeah.
that's a shame. It's a crying shame.
It really is. Won't you please share with us what motivated you to decide to be part of this particular nonprofit organization? There are many out there that you could have chosen to be part of, but why this one?
Well, number one, I have a very, very deep fondness for Africa. I've lived in Africa for 20 years, close to 20 years. I've toured through Africa, and I've found that there's a magic in that place.
Yes.
And the people are so happy. Even in the middle of nowhere, you'll meet people with the most happy energy that you see. And they don't have the trappings of Western success, the big houses, the fancy cars. I've seen school children about 6, 7 years old walking through Big Five country on the way to school. And they were the happiest, carefree people in the world.
Yes.
So that is such a beautiful um, energy about the whole continent. And I got to meet the founder, James Ojo, and we had some conversation, and we connected very, very deeply. He's originally from Nigeria, but he's moved to South Africa at the moment. And he shared his vision, and it just resonated with me. And the thing was how I can get involved and help. And we're working together, and obviously you've joined, and
Yes.
Shama and the other people, we've all joined together. So we're forming this collective, and we're collaborating, and we're looking at what our skills are. We've got volunteers coming on with other skills, and we're all sort of building together and growing together. And that's just so beautiful because I'm changing. through being involved. And that's wonderful as well, because I see things in a whole different way.
Yes, beautiful. Um, so Destiny Connect Foundation has something special happening next week. Won't you please share with us what that is?
Well, it's our live launch, the official launch, and it
Woohoo!
starts at 9 a.m. on the 26th in Eastern Time, which is
Yes,
10 p.m. my time. And are you Eastern or are you?
yes, I'm in Eastern.
So you've got a good morning Friday. So it starts then, it goes on for until midday Eastern Time, and we've got lots of different guests. We'll be speaking, talking to people. We've got a traditional Indian violinist. We've got laughter yoga. We've got sort of lady who helps people connect to their soul voice. We've got so many different things, and then we've got the volunteers who've all got their own special unique polarity. I was going to say it's personality, not polarity. And they're all going to be there, and we're going to have different hosts for each hour. So it's going to be a beautiful event with a lot of interaction and a lot of variety, and just start creating that magic.
Beautiful. Yes, everyone. So if you're watching live or on the replay, we'd like to invite you to be part of that. It's not only for nonprofits. Come and support us. Come and learn from what people have to say, and maybe expand your horizons a little bit. Think beyond the borders of the country that you find yourself in, because this is a global movement, and we welcome everyone. Trust and believe you're going to, even if you attend for an hour, you're going to learn something and you're going to grow from that particular thing. So please, we invite you to come and be part of it. We will drop the link in the comments. um, and I'll tag you if you're watching live. I'll tag you so that you can see the link, but it'll be there in the comments for those that are catching the replay. And we invite you to come and be part of it. Even if you just come to participate in the laughter yoga,
Mhm.
believe me, it will
Yeah,
change your life.
and the key thing is, even though the founder is in South Africa, it is a global movement because there are people throughout the whole world who
Yes.
are struggling. And we want to
Yes.
help everybody to become independent. I mean, I read that in the UK, there are children now in certain areas who've got signs of severe malnutrition at school. Their legs are getting bowed. And the UK is supposed to be a first world country, developed country. It's a global phenomena where we can get involved and bring people together to uplift themselves.
Wow. Wow. Honestly, many people think that poverty is only something that exists in third world countries. That lack is something that only exists in third world countries, and that's not true. There are people in need all over the world.
Mhm.
Something that I've actually really become aware of over the last few years is period poverty. And if you don't know, that means that there are some people all over the world in many different countries, in probably all countries, that actually don't have access to feminine hygiene products. And, you know, people were saying to me, like, oh, why are you so interested in this? Because you live in Toronto. And I said, what does that mean? you know, um, but the thing is, I can honestly tell you that there are people here in Toronto, and yes, Toronto is a multicultural city, and it's in Canada, which is a richer country, if you will. But there are people that are probably living right around the corner from me that have this issue where they don't have access to those things. So
Mhm.
it's just really a lack of resources, and that's everywhere. So we as
Yeah,
Destiny,
that's a global phenomenon, isn't it? Really, and there's a few isolated areas which are rich, but the rest, a lot of the places are struggling.
I think, if the pandemic taught us anything, it is that no one is better off than the other one, or no one is better than anybody else, right? uh Issues affect us all.
Yeah, I mean, we are all the same deep down. We've got different cultural habits, we've got different languages, but we've got the same basic needs, we've got the same desires, and we're all humans,
Yes, we are.
and that's the beauty of it, and the beauty is we're working with different people around the world, and we can see that we're all the same, even though we've got maybe some people speak different languages, and we've got different cultural things, but deep down, those are just surface level things. We're all the same, and that's the beauty of it.
Yes. I always say, if you cut me or you cut you, we all bleed red, right, Stuart?
Yeah, yeah, and I had a very much cruder version of that when I was a youngster, but I won't say that.
Thank you. This is a family show. I want to say good morning to our friend Russ. He says good morning,
Hey, Russ.
and he says hope everyone is having a blessed day so far. A special hi to you and I, Stuart, and he says you are both a blessing to me.
Well,
Right?
he's a blessing to all of us, I think, to the whole world. So it's wonderful that he's here.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Stuart, what are your final thoughts for everyone that are watching live or on the replay?
Well, I would just say that please join us and understand that anything that you can do to help is going to help this world. It's
Yeah,
not just an individual person; it's the whole world. That's the whole mission: is to help the world become a better place for everybody.
yeah,
And the world's got a lot of problems and a lot of challenges, but we have to start somewhere. And if we can build that community that
yes,
helps, then it's going to be beautiful because that energy will spread. So come there, get involved in some way. I mean, even if you want to donate $1 or something to help, it's going to help. So
yes,
you don't have to do all the running around, because I know we're all busy. We've all got our own challenges, but if you just wanted to contribute on a financial way or some other way, this
yes,
anything, because or just energetically, that's going to help people as well. So
yes,
come join the event and have some fun there with us.
yes. I want to say, I just want to highlight one thing. Someone said to me this week, "Oh, why are you doing this now? Getting involved in another nonprofit?" And I I was like, "What do you mean?" Um, because I think to myself, if all of us had that attitude, no one would get the help that they need.
Hmm.
And we would all just be living a selfish life for
Hmm.
ourselves, to further our own good, but not thinking about the society that we live in, the people
Hmm.
that we need. Because, I imagine myself like this, um, running a race in the Olympics or whatever, and then I win, and then being put on the podium as on first place. And for me, I believe in taking other people's hands and bringing them on to stand with me in the first place, because if I win, then we all win. And
Yeah.
that's the heart that we need to have, because honestly, nothing we won't move anything forward. Society will not move forward if we stand back and wait for somebody
Hmm.
to do something, somebody else to do something, right? um
Yeah.
I actually have a story about that I want to tell you quickly. So
Hmm.
I'm South African and I live in Canada. And in 2007, I was pregnant, about 7 months pregnant, and I was going to work. I crossed the street, and it was winter, December 2007. The road was very slippery because there was snow and slush, and I fell. And because of my stomach, I couldn't get up. And I was crossing the street to go to a bus stop that I stood at every morning to go to work, with the same people that I go to work with, like on that same bus, right? And you know what happened? Everybody just looked at me
Yeah.
and did
Did
nothing.
nobody help you? Yeah.
No one helped me. And I saw the
It's a
car come.
shame.
I saw cars coming and I started to crawl across the street because I couldn't stand up because of my stomach. And a man crossed the street um like diagonally to come and help me that I didn't know. And I've never seen him again. But that's what happened. Because if we all stand and wait for someone else to do it, no one's going to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. And the other part is, why not? Someone said to you, why get involved now? Why not?
Yeah.
Because there's no reason not to, is there? And it's not going to take over your life. Well, maybe it will, but it will in a good way. But it's not going to stop you from achieving your dreams. It'll just give you that extra energy to know that you're helping somebody somewhere, just like you were helped. And that's
Yeah.
such a beautiful thing, to realize that we can do that.
Yes.
We can do that, all of us, if we choose to.
We can. I actually received a message from someone. They are unable to comment on LinkedIn. And by the way, if you're watching and you're making a comment and you can't understand what the heck's happening, I'm sorry. There have been issues on LinkedIn. I've experienced it myself. So James sent us a message, and I want to acknowledge his message. He says, sorry, I wasn't able to make a comment on the live session. He says, you and Stuart are having a powerful conversation, and thank you to Shama and Stuart for their profound insights. He's been watching. He says, we are all a blessing to generations, and so are you, James.
Yeah, and James is the founder. He's a beautiful person. So if you see him on LinkedIn, find him on LinkedIn, connect with him. He's a
Yes,
wonderful person. He's got a great vision, and he's got a heart of gold.
he absolutely does. Let me see. There might be some people that have made comments that I haven't been able to pull into StreamYard. So yes, we have a comment from Sangeet Kumar saying good day. And we also have Laura Melando saying happy Friday from Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas area. Thank you, Laura, for joining us. I also wanted to see Precious she dropped us a comment. Would you like to read it for us, please?
So Precious says it was awesome to learn with amazing souls that are connected in ways that uplift and put back faith in humanity.
Oh,
We all have a duty to make the world a better place in any way we can. Ubuntu.
Ubuntu, yes,
So that is just such a beautiful thing. We all have a duty to make the world a better place, because this is all of our home. It's not
yes,
my home. It's not Inger's home. It's all of us' home. And if
yes,
we don't help each other, what
yes,
happens to the home?
absolutely. We also have Daniel Hall. He's tuning in from the States. Thank you so much. He says hello. Hello to you too, Daniel. Thank you for being here with us. Um, Diane says the following: we cannot live a wonderful life without connections. Trying to go it alone is like growing a plant in a closet. Oh my goodness. The visual, right? Our connections, even with strangers, bring us nutrients that we need. Be there for someone today, even if you just provide a smile.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And isn't that one of Russ's things, or is it the other Russ?
Russ Hedges.
Kindness is free, smiles are free, or something along that
Oh,
way.
yes. So, Russ Johns says,
I
uh,
can't remember the exact phrasing.
I know it. So he says, kindness is cool and smiles are free.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Yes. Kindness is,
that's so beautiful.
yes, it is. And kindness is cool. And it's free to smile at anyone. And really, you can make a difference with just a smile.
You can make a difference in your own life, never mind everyone else's. I mean, if you think of it, we are attracted to the energy of the people, and you get negative people, all collecting together. You get happy people all collecting together, and they don't want to join. It's a shame, you know.
Right?
So that, I know if I see these two groups of people, I want to go to the happy people because it's just beautiful. It's really so nice.
It's you know what? I think happy people don't want to go to the negative people because they're afraid that it will influence their own outlook, probably.
Hmm.
That would be my take on it. That would be my take.
And the thing is, happy people have periods of
Yes, we do.
difficulty and challenge, but the happiness helps them to get through it. Whereas the people who are more negative, they don't seem to get through it. The happiness doesn't uplift them. It just bounces off them like water off a raincoat.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And Daniel is he's saying yes. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. Thank you,
Yeah,
Daniel.
it's a beautiful thing, and we have to thank Ross for that because I didn't come up with that one.
He knows Russ. That's why he's telling us.
Yeah, he's a great person.
Yes.
Well, both Rosses are the ones.
Yes.
Both are great people.
They both are. Daniel Hall also says your attitude defines your altitude. That is
Hmm.
something that I learned when I was a child, actually. My mom used to say it
Hmm.
a lot. And he says, we all have the power to lift people up or pull them down.
Hmm.
You're so right. Thank you, Daniel. And thank you, Stuart. This was an awesome conversation, and I'm so glad that we could highlight something that's near and dear to both of our hearts, which is
Yeah,
Destiny Foundation.
and it is about that collaboration and working with people, helping people, and uplifting everybody rather than dragging them down. And
Yeah,
that's the beauty. And it's so easy to get involved and just spread that smile. Tell people you're on this call and smile about it, and they'll say, "Hey, I want to join the next one."
right? Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to have this conversation with me. I
It's an
wish you a
absolute pleasure.
wonderful weekend. Thank
Yep,
you.
same to you. And bye, everybody.
I'll send you to the green room as I wrap up. Thank you.
Okay.
And if you're still watching, thank you for being here with us and thank you for coming and spending a little bit of your time with us. I will be dropping the link in the comments so that you can register to be part of our launch next week, Friday, which is from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. You don't have to stay for the full time if you want to come and support us, even for a short while. We will appreciate your presence and we'll celebrate you being there with us. So thank you, everyone, and thank you for being here. We love you, we appreciate you, and I will see you next time, not next week, but watch this space. I'll make an announcement when I'll be live next. Take care, be blessed, and see you soon.